Originally, I just wanted to have a first look at Eternights out of sheer curiosity and only play it for an hour or so. I had heard from a German YouTuber whose opinion I hold in high regard that there was this small indie Persona-like, which he really liked, and that it was essentially developed by a single person. As the game was currently on sale, I thought that time had come to satisfy my curiosity. I was half expecting to make use of the refund function if it turned out to be a piece of crap or whatever, but lo and behold, I actually really liked Eternights, and I'm really impressed by what a single developer from Korea has managed to create here. The premise of Eternights is not the most original one, but a tried and true post-apocalyptic scenario in which humanity has been vanquished by a plague, turning them into monsters. For some reason, through the power of main character energy, you are unaffected by the disease and are blessed with a great power, the ability to make your arm glow with a bright white light, and to turn it into a lightsaber that allows you to slash through the shadowy hordes of the outside world. Pretty useful. To find a cure and save mankind from its inevitable demise, you do what every anime protagonist would do in a situation like this. Join a team of like-minded teenagers and try to save the world, of course. At its core, Eternights is really a simplified version of Persona with pretty much everything that goes with it. Your base of operations is a train that moves from one part of the city you reside in to another, which is already a pretty cool concept and a welcome change of scenery compared to your typical Persona like dorms, rural towns, or cafes. Here, you have a daily routine in which day and night alternate and different activities become available at different times. You can deepen your social ties with other members of your group, explore the outside world, or work on your character stats. Just like in Persona, character stats have an impact on how much you can deepen a relationship with a particular character. Yes, you heard right, dating sim aspects are very much a thing in Eternights, just as in Atlus's flagship series. Unlike Persona though, Eternights actually allows for gay romance options, which is definitely an aspect where this game surpasses its role model. It's at the same time encouraging and disheartening to see that games that replicate the Persona formula to some extent are willing to stray from the regressive paths of the original. There's hope that Atlus will finally come around and offer more diverse romance options in their upcoming games, but that remains to be seen. Anyway, I digress. When you're not busy spending time with your party members or working on your character stats, you venture into the outside world, which is basically one huge dungeon with different areas. I know that the Persona comparisons are probably getting pretty old at this point, but the similarities are so in your face that I can't help but pointing them out. So, just like in Persona, there are certain hard deadlines at regular intervals by which a certain objective in the outside world must be achieved for the story to progress. During these action sequences, you fight your way through hordes of enemies with different movesets, strengths, and weaknesses. The combat system is action-oriented, requiring the player to dodge, parry, and time their attacks correctly. On top of that, there are combo attacks that you can perform with party members and additional skills that you can unlock bit by bit. As you forge your way through the world of Eternights, social events and combat sequences alternate and create a good flow that keeps things fresh until the very end. Unfortunately, you can tell in many places that this is a single developer's first work, as the game does have some weaknesses. For example, I had to restart the game twice because I was soft-locked. One time my character was stuck in the corner, and another time a cutscene just didn't play and all the characters just stood around super awkwardly without anything happening. The camera is also a real pain in the butt sometimes. It jumps around wildly, crashes into walls, and really irritates the player. In general, the combat becomes quite chaotic when more than one enemy enters the scene. The lock-on system has a mind of its own from time to time, and it's super easy to lose track. Nevertheless, I had fun with the combat system overall. It took a while to get used to the sometimes hectic flow of combat, but after some time I got into it and I learned to handle the controls as best as I could. Some boss battles were pretty tough and presented me with genuinely hard challenges, which I appreciated. The level of difficulty and overall jankiness induced by the controls and camera behavior never resulted in a frustrating experience that made me toss my controller into the wall or something. Instead, I found enjoyment in the harder sections of the game that required me to dodge perfectly, time my attacks with utmost precision, and succeed in the sometimes tricky QuickTime events. Overall, I would recommend this game, especially if you have a fondness for Persona, action RPGs, and anime aesthetics. Yes, the game definitely has its flaws in terms of gameplay. Combat can be a bit iffy and the camera movement is at least questionable at times. In terms of writing, Eternights occasionally drifts into anime cliché territory, and especially during the dating sequences, the level of cringe can become almost unbearable. The relatively short runtime of approximately 12 hours for one playthrough may be a point of contention for some players as well. Despite all that, Eternights also has its strengths. Likeable characters, good humor, a fun combat system, once you get used to it, very creative monster designs, and a generally immersive, dark and brooding atmosphere underlined by the often high level of violence. The animated 2D cutscenes that are played at key points in the game look absolutely fantastic and prove once again that you don't need a huge development studio to produce quality games. Of course, Eternights cannot compete with the big names in the genre, but it's absolutely impressive what a passionate developer can achieve when the vision is clear, even on a small budget. Projects like these deserve more attention and love from the community, and so if you're looking for a Persona-esque experience with a smaller scale but a lot of love, please give this game a chance. If you liked this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to my channel for more. Thank you for your attention.